What's good, Life and Poetry fam? Welcome back to the channel with your boy, your host, the one and only, Marcus T, this guy. And we are back with another video for today. Life and Poetry fam, before we get into this video, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for just being in tune with me thus far as we're going through making any transitions, any new thing that's coming about, and just being overall patient with me as I'm trying to grow this channel here, as I'm growing not just the channel, but as I'm getting my story out, as I'm sharing these things with you, whether it's poetry, my story, my testimony, or just pouring into you guys the best that I can, or just having conversations with you guys, as well as allowing me to be as transparent as I want to be, and not being forceful with it, saying that okay, you said this, so this needs to come out. You're giving me your patience, your love, and your support, and I am truly, truly, truly grateful for all of that. I am truly grateful for it. So, Life and Poetry fam, today I want to talk to you guys about something that we haven't done in a while. I want to give you guys an update on me, update on my health, the progress thus far, and whatever else is going to come up with that conversation. But before getting into that conversation, guys, I need you to do me something as I always ask you to do. I just simply ask that you remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And once you've done that, please turn on that notification bell so that you could be notified every time we here at Life and Poetry drop a new video. And remember, guys, that I say we, because you never know who's going to pop up and grace us with their presence here on the channel. There may be some old faces or some new faces. You don't know, but to know, you have to stay informed. And to stay informed and be informed, you have to do what? Yes, make sure that notification bell is turned on. Please and thank you. Cheese. I need a teeth whitening. I'm gonna get my teeth whitened one of these days. But so yeah, Life Poetry family, let's talk about health, right? You guys know I am living with HIV. It's no secret. I've done a whole series on it here on the channel. If you haven't seen that series, go dial back, and check it out. If not, it's linked. It pops up there somewhere, or maybe at the end of the video in the suggested videos for you to watch. As I am dealing with HIV, as well as a plethora of other things, such as using mobility devices to walk, such as my walker, which you see back there behind my door, and my cane, which is right there behind the chair. So I do need those apparatuses to get around, as we talked about before, as well as some other things that's been coming to the surface. I want to have a short conversation with you guys about that. Now, as we're going through this here, know this first and foremost. I believe that there's healing in the blood of Jesus. And if you guys know me, you know I follow the cornerstone of Jesus Christ, tooth and nail, from the rooty to the tooty, right? From the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. I decree and declare that there's healing over my body. So that's not, we're going with this one here, right? I'm not doing this video to talk about how sick I am or to do all these things. No, I'm simply giving you guys another peek into what I'm dealing with. All right. So remember, I gave you guys my word that I'll do my best to keep you updated with any changes about my health, about me, as we go along. Remember, that's what the premise of Life and Poetry was about: to share my life with you guys, to have a platform that you can share your life and your stories with other people, as well as sharing poetry and a plethora of other things here on this channel as we dive into great topics of conversation. Yeah, so I'm dealing with those things there, and recently I had to find a new doctor. I had to add a new doctor to my team, a new primary care doctor, or as they call them, internal medicine physicians. And then an internal medicine physician is simply a primary care physician who pretty much factors and does all that stuff that you need from from your physicals, blood work, standard checkups, exams, so on and so forth. Now, there may be some other things there, but for me, that's what that doctor's in place for, to make sure my physicals are intact, to do routine blood work. If I have any other problems or complications, I have the doctor I can go to. So we just added that new doctor on board. The doctor I had prior, she kind of up and left on a whim without telling us, without telling me. And I didn't find out until I called to confirm my appointment that I had set with her, and the receptionist that had told me in a way, I won't say in a polite way, but in a way that um, she was gone. She had moved her practice to another office, another location. Now she's still in the same practice, but she left the location and went further out. I chose a specific location because it was close to me. Again, I'm on my walker. I have my cane. I don't get around as easy. I'm not driving, so I don't have the option to say I'm gonna hop in my car and I'm gonna travel to and fro. I don't always have that luxury. And when I do have the luxury, it's because I'm asking people to assist me in those situations. Guys, you know that my mother-in-law has been such a blessing with that. When I have to go to the specialist, the infectious disease doctor that I go to, which is a bit further out. So she's blessing me supporting me in the adventure there. But when it comes to other doctors, I want to be able to get to them, they're closer. Um, and as I think I told you guys before, but my infectious disease doctor chose me. I didn't choose her; she chose me, which was the blessing because most of the other doctors that came there that were on the list of doctors that I could have went to turned me down. They didn't want to take me on as a patient, and that's fine. Some doctors may not want to go through the trouble of the house. It may be too much for them, or they may not have any openings in their patients, whatever. That's fine. That's fine. She chose me, so that's where I'm at, and that's what I'm gonna stick with until God says otherwise. Um, yeah, so we got a new primary doctor on board. A great doctor, great physician. This is a bit different though, because these doctors are I think they call it with maybe residents or something like that. I don't I think they're basically like student doctors, whatever. I believe it's so. But they're teamed with the head physician. So as they're going through, making sure they get their I think it's called is it called a residency? I think that's what it's called. Either way, right? So I have that doctor as well as the main doctor on board. So they're going through everything now. They are the two that I was partnered with are phenomenal people. They listen, they are observant, they ask the right questions, and they let me get everything out that I need to get out. They don't just bombard me with, oh, you need to do this. They listen to me as the patient first and foremost. As a doctor, that's what I need. That's what I need. I look for. That's what I love to have on my team of physicians. And I say team because there are a lot of doctors that are comprised of my medical team. Um, whether it's the infectious disease doctor, the primary doctor, I have the I had a counselor on my team, so I don't go to counseling anymore. I want to get back into that though, but I had a counselor on my team. I had a hematologist on my team. I think that's what they call it, the blood docs. All these. It was a whole bunch of doctors on my team at a point in time. But yeah, so the new doctor is doing pretty cool, right? And so going to the doctor, it had to go back down the list. When you go to a new doctor, you always got to download them on, you download them on what the patient file doesn't say. And that's the itty bitty details of things that sometimes some doctors just, they keynote, side note, or footnote in a chart or two. So you have to go more in depth about different certain things. And one of the things that I had to go in depth with was when I went to go see the neurologist. I don't know if I talked to you guys about this. If not, here we go. Right, I had to go see a neurologist because we wanted to see what was going on with my legs. Why weren't my legs functioning the way that they were supposed to? Right. So my doctor at the time, my original primary care physician, he sent me out to this neurologist, and he teamed up with the infectious disease doctor. Sent me out to this neurologist, and we did a battery of tests, a battery of lab work. I remember when I went there, right? I remember when I went there, the first thing they said was we have to do blood work. I do that. I give blood on occasion. That's what we do, right? When you go to doctors. But this one was a bit different, right? I had to give 20 vials of blood, 20 tubes of blood, in a single sitting. Now I could have spaced it out. They gave me the option to space it out, but I was like, I'm here. Let's get it done. I got that. I got that. I didn't have that. I got it done. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. When the nurse tapped both arms and we went with it. And I was woozy as a mug, right? But we got that. I got to forgive me. I'm sitting under my vent. So if you hear the vent kicked in. That's the heat on. It's pretty cool where we are. Pretty chilly here. So we got to try to knock the chill off the house, or whatever, right? But yeah. So we went there. I gave the blood. Whatever. We did the battery test. Those tests comprised of CT scans, MRIs, spinal tap, um, neuro scans, neuro exams. It was so much that we had to do. to get to a conclusion of saying that we still don't know everything that's going on. Now we got a peekaboo in the window of what could possibly be, right? But there are no definites when it comes to me at this point here. Medically speaking, there seems to be not too many definites of what's going on, other than the fact that we know definitely that I'm not walking. Definitely, I'm HIV positive. Definitely that I have the blood of Jesus running through my veins, and definitely I walk in my healing. Um, but medically speaking, there's a lot going on there. And so as I'm downloading him in that, he asked me to get him in contact. He asked me to get the contact information for the doctor. I can't remember what the doctor was, what the information was. Again, this was what, 2017, 18. This was some time ago. But I still have the scar on my back to prove that I got the spinal tap done. It's not a scar. So you see where the needle prick was. It's a little dot. I know it's there because I know it's there. But so I had to download him on that information. It was a lot to remember. So I was like, can y'all just contact him? I don't know. He should have my records on file. I don't. From that time, I've moved and we transitioned stuff as it was, boxed up, boarded up, trashed, or whatever it may have been. So I was like, maybe you could just contact him, whatever. And so we tried that, and it was a no-go. So I told him so I came back home that day and I went to look for my files, my paperwork, all the stuff like that. And I remember that this doctor had an app set up where you can access your files, and it dates back to whenever you need to date back to. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, right? So I came home and I went through the app and I pulled up my charts and I was able to, like, okay, I got everything he's asking for. And so I print everything out because I'm giving it to him. I'm giving it to him in hand, hard copy in hand, so we can go over it, I guess, in person. So he asked that we do that like that. But I wanted to go back and I took time to look over every page that was printed out. Now it's a stack of papers. It's in my medical folder, which is in my closet right now. But it's a stack of papers that I had to print out, and each exam had at least 2 to 3 pages that were attached to it. At least 2 to 3 pages attached to it. And again, it was a battery of exams. It was a lot of exams. They ran the full kit and caboodle on your boy, right? So we got that done. And I'm looking at these papers. I'm seeing things that I might have glanced over the first time, or I might have just subconsciously pushed it to the back of my head because I didn't want to deal with it at the time. So I'm looking over these papers and I'm like, oh, this is interesting here. I'm learning medical terms of what's going on, such as paraparalysis, which has happened with me. It's partial paralysis, basically. It only affects a part of my body. And there was other things that was going on that I didn't see, or that, again, I pushed back, which was with my spine, my specifically the lower lumbar portion of my spine. And as I'm looking through the charts, and I'm like, okay, did I miss this here, or was I not actually paying attention to it? Because again, my mindset goes to all the time that, especially in that time, my mind was it was so rattled and frazzled with everything that was happening that I really didn't understand the fact. Let me not say that I didn't understand. I wasn't in a place to accept or not acknowledge the fact that I had to deal with all this mess, these isms, these schisms, tisms, and profanity word here. So I'm looking through this thing and I'm seeing that my lower lumbar has been affected by something, and I don't know if it's because of naturally how I sit my natural posture. I kind of slouch a lot. But I'm trying to set myself up, and the chair I'm sitting in, it forces my back to go up straight, and it hurts like crazy, but it's necessary to have it. So I'm going through this particular piece of paper, and I see that it's notated that I have a curve in the lower part of my spine, and so it curves basically. So it comes down, and it curves, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So now I see where back pain comes from. Right. And again, I'm going back and I'm asking myself, did I not recognize this here? Was I not listening? Or did I just push it to the back of my mind? And I came up with this here. I must have done all three. I might not have been listening. I was hungry that day or something. And I was subconsciously pushed it back. I wasn't accepting it, all the above. Right. A, B, C, or D. I picked D, all the above. But that's fine. That's fine. It's part of the course. And I'm learning that um, what I've learned that is that for me specifically, there's so many unknowns that's happening with my body that has happened and is happening with my body that sometimes it's hard to keep up with. So again, that's why I'm grateful to have such great teams of doctors working with me, um, and not against me. Again, like I said, my doctors aren't the doctors that push this, that, and the third. They actually take time to get to try their best to get to the pinpoint accuracy of what's going on. And sometimes we fall short, and that's okay. I was just telling one of my mentors that I've come to accept the we don't knows over the nose, uh, because we don't know. For me, and this might sound stupid to you. That's fine, but for me, we don't know. Clicks in my head saying, "Okay, we don't know now, right? But we're going to find out, right?" And sometimes you get that hard no, and it's like, "But what about this? Then why is this happening?" That no for me seems to cancel out a lot of things in my mind. And when I hear no's, it's like, "Yo, nah, we miss it. We're missing something here. Why are we missing this? Why is this not adding up?" Your no doesn't have a standing in my report right now because you're not giving me anything. You're just giving me a no. That's it. No. Right. So how about you tell me how you got to the no? How about you explain to me how we got to this part here? And I found that with the doctors the doctors I passed through, um, yes, I passed through a lot of doctors, and they failed to give me a good explanation as to why they came up with the answer no, right? But the doctors I got now, they break down to me why we don't know, right? Or why or how close we're getting, right? Or because we're peeling back layers of everything now, right? And I like for you to walk me through that. Don't just give me a yes or no. Walk me through what we're going through here. Right? I know you're the doctor, and that's fine. I may not know what you know, but you don't walk. You're not walking in my shoes either. You're not waking up day in and day out with pain in your back and hopping out of bed, forgetting that you need your walker to get or your cane to get to the bathroom or to answer the door, or to even just walk outside, and just be out and about. But I'm walking through that day by day, and I'm at a space now where my health is so vital to me that I'm doing everything I possibly can to make sure, to make sure, to make sure that we're getting definite answers at this point here. There are so many unknowns, like I said before, that we just don't know. And we possibly may never know the complete story about what's going on. That's fine. But get me close to it. And I'll let my mind fill in the blanks as we go along. I'm a great storyteller, I'm a great writer. Let me fill in those blanks there, but don't give me the hard no's without an explanation why. Um, yeah, so that's all that's going on now. And on top of that, because I came back to the notes. Again, I'm glad God brought it back full circle that I was able to go back through those things there. Because like I said, my back has been giving me so much pain recently, and it's been crazy. I recently went to the mall with my wife, um, as we celebrated her birthday last month. Um, and we did some walking, and it put so much strain on my back, specifically that lower lumbar portion of my back. And I used to wear my brace a lot, and these particular times I stopped wearing it, and chalk that up to me, being foolish and naive. But I'm back wearing my brace. I don't have it on now. I'm taking a break right now because of the chair, like I said. My brace is over here. Um, but we did so much walking, and my back started it's just spiking pains and shooting pains. Whereas I was pushing through so much, and it was like you need to. My back was telling me to stop, sit down, and just rest. Um, but I, in my mind, it should never get to that point. I don't care where I am. I don't want to feel like my body's breaking down, right? So again, because I found out, and we had a great time too. We had a great time. We celebrated her birthday, a 4-day stretch, a great time, and I'll take that pain for her. I was able to celebrate her birthday with her, and she had a smile on her face the entire time. That pretty much helped me get through those times. Um, but so because of my spine, because of my back, I've decided to add another type doctor to my team. I've decided to add a chiropractic to the team, so we can figure out maybe we can get some better alignments done. Get my body back in alignment best as possible. And we're going to see how that works. I've done my research. I've spoken with my doctors about this here, about the effects of what can happen, and good and bad. I've spoken with a chiropractor once before. I was going to go to them, but I believe that they closed their office and moved. I don't know where they went to, but it's fine. I found another one. I'm actually going to get in contact with them today. Um, Probably after I drop this video, I'm going to get in contact with them. But I just want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can, like I said, to make sure that my body is in alignment, to see if, maybe this gets a step forward to getting back up, walking better, or actually walking in general. We don't know. But I won't say I'll do anything, but I will do what it takes, whether it's, to get to where I'm supposed to get to. One of my battle buddies has this saying, no days off, no days off. And when we PT together, when we worked out together, we trained together, we lived by that mantra, because we couldn't allow ourselves to get lax and get the comfort, and to get comfortable or content with where we were. It was about pushing yourself to that space of saying, you know what, my body said I couldn't, but my mind said I can. It's a mental factor. It's a mental thing. We keep pushing, and we keep pushing, and we keep pushing. And that's the goal for me, to keep pushing. I won't stop. I won't give up. I'm going to keep moving forward with this no matter what happens. Because at the end of the day, I will walk again. I will get up on my feet without that cane, without that walker, and I will walk again hand in hand with my wife and with my children. The day that God blesses us with children, and it's going to be it's going to be nothing short of just amazing, because I have the faith that that's going to happen, and I'm not falling short of that there. So yeah, I'm gonna close out this video here, because I feel like I'm about to go start on a rampage, and start to rant a little bit, and I'm getting kind of in my head a little bit right now. But I say this here. For me, it's not a sprint; it's a marathon. It's a marathon. It's about longevity, right? It's about longevity. It's going on, what, 6-7 years since this has happened. Yeah, about 6 years since this has happened. But you know what? I'm all right. I'm still standing, and I'm walking in my truth. Keywords: standing and walking in my truth, and in my healing. And that's not going to change for nothing or nobody, because I walk with the Father, who has spoken it, and that it's going to, I have faith and believe that's going to come to pass. You might not have it, and that's fine. But I stand on faith. I may not see it now, but I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to come to pass, and I stand on that. Yeah, so we're gonna close out here, guys. I thank you so much for tuning in. I pray you made it to this part of the video. If not, that's cool, guys. If you like this video, give a thumbs up. You don't like, give it a thumbs down. Remember, all love here at Life and Poetry. That's what we do. All love. We family. We family. We family. We might not all get along. We may not all get along. We may not all agree. But at the end of the day, we're family. We come together and we love one another. We support each other. So, guys, again, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Again, if you haven't watched that Truth Unveiled series where I talked about me living with HIV, check that series out, or any other video you want to watch on the channel. Right? Send your family, send your friends, send your cat, your dog, your mouse, your rat, your bird, your squirrel, whoever you got. Send them my way. Send them to the channel. And yeah, join the Life and Poetry family. Whether it's here, Instagram, Facebook, or even the podcast, check it out. Everything I got, every link you can find me with is in the description down below. Find me at, on, or doing. It's in the description down below. Go check me out. So, guys, in closing, as we always say, be safe, be blessed. Till next time, we out. Peace.